Alright, we're up and running. Hello everybody, how you doing? Starting a touch early today. We're working on the Wolf Priest. I'm going to do the skin first, on his head. Get that kind of all in place. Start off with this nice dark green, then we're going to work up the skin tones. Next is burned flesh. Stitch pajamas here. No. I've got my Blade Runner shirt on. My Blade Runner hoodie. And my pajamas. Boring, I know. Wait, how's your day? Well, I guess. How's your day been, Dakari? And how's the start of your day, Overton? Hello there, JB. Well, I had to go at printing the printing for the first time using resin supports on my FDM printer. And it actually came out pretty well, considering. I've got a Snotling Blood Bowl team that I got off of my mini factory. I thought, you know, I'll try one of the difficult kind of trolls. It has lots of overhanging parts, and you know, there's a bit of cleanup to do here and there. But that there is an FDM print. It came out pretty darn well. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, it's not bad at all, is it? There's a few little bits here and there to clean up. But because I'm using the resin supports, the model holds together much better. With tree supports, often what happens is delicate parts will break off very easily. But using the resin supports and just thickening the tips a little bit, or thickening each of the branches a bit.
Fivergen, me in Stitch pajamas? Only if they're tattered and blood-stained. Ha! And JV93 at decent is just another word for not yet zombified, you know? Ha!
There's no context for the decent. So, but yeah, like the resin supports worked really well. Just thickened a little bit and popped it out really nicely. The next test is going to be see if we can print a Snotling pump wagon. That'll be the real test. I was expecting this one to be a complete failure, to be honest. I thought there wasn't going to be enough supports and the whole thing was just going to fall in on itself. Get me through pretty well. On the other side, there's a, you know, there's the weird kind of bits where there is a lack of support and it kind of gets all stringy. But who cares? You don't see that part. You look at it from above. For an FDM print, I'm pretty happy. Hello there, Crow. The Brom stuff won't come till February. Ah, yeah, I saw the update. That was sucked. We're gonna hold on a bit. It seems that they are going through a bit of a time, aren't they? At Old Mindwork, they've had to downsize their hole operation, and the logistics of the American side of things is a bit much, isn't it? So, well, you'd be used to waiting now. Remember when they started the campaign, you were supposed to get it like February a year ago. Oh no, even before then. It was supposed to be like, they were saying like before Christmas. Before Christmas 2024. Oh my, how things have changed. But yeah, it kind of sucks for them now that they've had to. They almost closed up shop. I'm glad that they didn't, and we are getting all their things. Taking a bit longer than expected. So better to just be patient and waiting than lose everything through closure. Something at least. Sure, you have plenty of hobby to keep you busy until then. If they're saying February, expect it March, April maybe. They've never been able to kind of stick to any of their when they're talking about a few months in advance, they've never been able to stick to that timeline very well. Paintbook Kickstarter in a similar, very delayed status. Oh yeah, you mentioned that one before. Be master by the time it arrives. Yeah, you'd be like, I could have written this. To be honest, if I get like painting books and things, it won't be particularly on miniatures. It'll be more just actual painting techniques that I can then apply to miniatures. I think posted a really good video talking about that. You can learn a lot outside of the miniature painting hobby. Your painting skills. All the Christmas lights up in Japan? Not particularly. There's a few. There's like a little sad tree that our community puts loads of lights around, and some Santa lights and things. So that one's up. The tree just looks so sad in the middle of it all because it's so small. However, yeah, they're up. We've got our tree up as well, and yeah. Starting to be Christmassy. I would realise I've got to probably get some Christmas presents. My daughter has no ideas what she wants, so I've got to surprise her with a few things. She's been into badminton quite a bit lately, so I'll probably get a new badminton racket and like a badminton net that we can throw up in the park. Cool. And possibly one Switch game for her. About one of the Pokemon ones. All the stores decorated in Japan too. Yeah. The Midasuji Road from Namba to Umeda is all lit up since October or so. I haven't even noticed. I didn't even notice, man. And I just kind of rushed through Umeda to get to wherever I'm going. Nippon Bashi so I can buy my paint. That's about it. Or going to see you, or going to any of the game days that we have. I don't stop to look at what's actually around me. Very unobservant. Only building up his complexion. As soon as Halloween's done, all the Christmas stuff goes up. I believe Halloween was a month ago. Nuts. Putting up some recast Hellsmiths of Hashut artillery at the moment. Use as the regiment of renown for my Nurgle. These things build up nice and fast. Lovely. I'm so happy to have finished the Hellsmiths of Hashut, and the client was happy with the results, so bonus. Now I just got to knock out all of these Space Wolves. I've got 15 Terminators to get through this month. Can I do it? That's a good question. 15 Terminators, a couple of Wolves, a Dreadnought, and a couple of characters. It's tight. It's going to be tight. I can knock out the Terminators in batches of 5 at a time. I think I might be able to manage it. The Terminators don't have too many details. I would shoot myself. Hey, shiny. Well, it's no Imperial Guard. Not Imperial Guard. It's no. God damn it! I forgot what they're called. Yellow boys. Imperial Fists. Mission. That's for sure. Bells, the bells. He said the word. Into playing with those wolf boys. Yes, yes. Thing is, the client is going to be going to a kind of a Wargamers hangout with actually a bunch of the YouTubers as well in America. February, I want to say. Oh, or in late January or something. So, would like these to be done then. Gives me a kind of like a target. This has got another backup plan in case it's not going to happen, so that was also a bit of a relief for me, but I really want to try to get them done because then I can move on to other projects as well. Without this kind of hanging over my head, I'd rather finish this one off cleanly and then do a bunch of mini commissions while I also do stuff for myself. King, I might keep him just like that. I don't want to go too light with this guy. I think keep giving him a little bit more color than the other dude. Ulrich looks a bit harsher. That can be a bit warmer. I think that's kind of a nice contrast of kind of characters. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do next? We tackle all of the gold. That might be something to do. Or do we do the fur first? Let me tackle the gold. Oh, for God's sake, would you just flippin' go? These things are getting crazy. Gone. A 3D printer had a stoppage overnight and squeezed like 200 grams of filament through the upper end of the extruder. I've had that issue. It's pretty scary, to be honest. And then, like, after removing all of that extra filament that kind of did all of that, the next few prints had a bit of a burny smell. But once I got through them, it was okay. I was like, oh, at least the extruder's still working. Okay, I'm okay. Yeah, because I did the stupid thing of printing without a build plate, which was like the dumbest thing. I just didn't notice, and I just went off and went to bed and didn't check to see if it was actually going on, and I was like, oh shit. Let's clear that up. Yeah. But turned out to be okay. So that was a bit scary though. That was me being a bit of a tit. Okay, so for the gold for these guys, we're gonna need a brown. We're gonna need carmine red. We're gonna need Scrophilus brown, and used highlight skin for the upper part. So that is a yellow as well. There we go. There's 5. That was it. There's these 5. That's going to be our lovely gold. Yeah, it was a thing. Oh well. What was it you're trying to print on the FDM one? Oh, Zombie, can you believe how much I'm leveling up my painting recently with the Gazcon Copter? They look really good. Your orcs are looking really, really nice. I'm very impressed. Makes me want to paint some orcs. Yeah, I was very. I think they're coming along really nicely. The skin is looking great. And just that getting that kind of nice grim dark as well. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. Hoping my painting is coming along. More wins here and there with them. Really want to do clay models, I think. I have had some glow in the dark filament and found some amazing dice on Thingiverse. I wanted to print a batch and hand them out as Christmas gifts to my gaming buddies. Oh, cool! I used to paint things super clean with limited washes and glazes. Yeah. As you go on and like start to add like little touches and things, you really notice how just taking just a little bit of extra time on stuff that you've done will really make it shine. Oh, from Berlin. Working on a Tiger Panzer? From Tamiya. Nice, Daniel Bear. Thank you for joining us on YouTube there. Finally found a use for a paint I've had forever, and that's darkening metals with VMC Gunmetal Grey. Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's a good idea. Mixing it in. The only time I do mixing on my metallics is when I use the Vallejo. What's it? Airbrush metal. Not liquid, but airbrush metal. In here. If used by itself, it comes out glossy and almost black. Ugh. Don't actually mix it in. I splotch it on top of existing metals to darken them up with some grime. Ew, interesting. Interesting. I'm going to have a re-look at your models just to see how that effect has come through. I'm very sorry, Daniel Bear. My German is next to nothing. I can do English, I can do Japanese, and that's about all. SMS Paints. Is that SMS is a Australian brand of paints? Australia, very good. I thought it might have been that. I just didn't want to guess. I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not familiar with SMS Paints, actually. Another paint range I'm gonna have to go and check out. Still got to do a review of those Reaper mini paints, as well as the Mindwork stuff. No time to do that right now. I mean, we're in commission hell right now.
Fivergen, leveling up your painting? Just don't start painting zombies or they may level up too. Ha! And Shiny Math Rock Emporium, glow in the dark dice? Perfect for a midnight game in the graveyard. Ha!
That is true. That would be cool. Right, is there any bits of gold that I'm missing right now? Most likely, but we'll move on from there. Hello, I'm new in painting, just started to learn. Welcome to the hobby there, Carolina. It's a wonderful little hobby. What we're doing now is we're working on a wolf priest from Games Workshop for the Space Wolves. This is one of the special character wolf priests that I've painted earlier, and we're going to be doing a similar kind of approach with this one onto here. But right now what we're doing is we're doing the gold, and what we're doing with the gold is something called NMM, non-metallic metal, where we use matte paints to make it look like there is a shiny metal surface, but we're not using any metallics in it. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. or at least for now. And to do that, I've got a range of paints that I'm using. So this is kind of the sequence of paints for you to see. We've got a brown, a dark brown, moving into a red that moves into this yellow brown, that moves into this brighter yellow, that then moves into this close to white highlight skin color. And doing that range, we'll be able to get hopefully something that looks a bit like gold. Put down some of this yellow brown. Thank you very much, Carolina. I've been doing this for a little while, so I'm hoping it comes out okay. I'm going to mix that one together, kind of get a similar kind of brown red. Then I'm going to go in with this. Get this lovely kind of warm, sludgy brown. I don't know if you can see it very well. Your paint formula doesn't have 3 brands, you haven't tried hard enough. Right. You need to find that yellow that you like from one brand, that red that you like from another, that brown from another. Let's see, how many brands have I got? I've only actually got 2 brands. However, I'm not doing it right, obviously. I've just got Vallejo and AK. The German is pretty decent. He's got to go to work now and says goodbye. Oh, that's very sweet of him. Oh, take care, Daniel Bear. But no, my German is terrible. I can just guess because there's a number of words which are relatable in English. But thank you. You take care. Have a lovely day. And thank you very much for popping in. So Carolina, I got a starter kit with 13 colors. Nice. What starter kit did you get? And what are you interested in painting? What are you getting started with? Always interesting to see where people kind of start. My kind of real start into painting was when I got the Dark Vengeance box set for Warhammer 40,000. I had the Dark Angels and Chaos Warriors, Chaos Space Marines. It was not great painting at that time, but I enjoyed it very much. Kind of where it started. I got more serious about painting when I scaled down the size of my games and was like, okay, I can spend more time on my models now rather than trying to rush them. What we're doing here, we're just building up layers. Nothing too, not being too careful or anything. We're just kind of doing a little bit less coverage than the previous layer so that we can kind of see each of the layers come through. I'm not thinking too much about where those reflections are going to be. Metallics have crazy reflections, so you don't have to really worry too much. Don't have to think too hard about where you're reflecting light. Hello there, Sandoval Christian. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you very much. I'm having a good week. Busy week, but very good one. Trying to get a lot of painting done if I can. And so today, we're focusing down this wolf priest here. When he gets finished, we're moving on to some other Space Wolf characters that I've got to paint up on this particular commission. And yeah. Off stream, I'm painting like the batch painting of the Space Wolves. So earlier today, I got this far with some infiltrators. Got them to there. They still need a pin wash, and they need their armor needs a edge highlight. It's going all right. It's going all right. Warhammer Age of Sigmar paint and tools set. Oh, nice. Good place to start. Good place to start. Nice box, 35 euros. Lovely. And did you get some models in there as well to paint up? Which models did it come with? I'm asking. Okay. I think I've hit all of my metallics there. I have no clue what I'm doing. That's fine. That's how you start. So what I suggest you do very first thing is you got to base coat your model. So if you paint directly onto plastic, what you'll find is it doesn't adhere very well. So you want to be coating it. For example, what's usually a good base coat to start off with is just base coat something black. Then you can kind of start then building up your layers and start actually creating, painting your model. You'll find it adheres a lot better to the model. And because the paints have somewhat translucency, whatever base coat you have will kind of come through a little bit as well. If it's with the Stormcasts one, that's always a nice thing to start off with. Lots of nice little armor and things. Best thing to do is just slap paint. It's a bit like painting by numbers. And as Fabergé says, thin your paints, especially with Citadel paints. I think from you doing it from the pot, they tend to dry out a lot faster and get a bit thick and a bit thick in the pots and things. So yeah, definitely worth thinning them. When he says thin them, people say thin your paints, but it's a much more delicate approach than just adding water or anything like that. It's something that takes a lot of time. So don't worry too much about thinking about those things, but just for the first time, just enjoy slapping paint on a model and seeing what comes up. And don't ever compare your work with somebody else's. Only ever compare your current model to the last few models that you've done and see where you're going. That's the main thing, and just enjoy it, really. For me, this is my zen, it's what chills me out, what I enjoy just doing, and people pay me to do it, and so I'm happy to do it for them. So, yay. 2 small Space Marines. One is primed and one to build, but not primed yet. Lovely. Yeah, just slap that paint on. Just have some fun with it. And get used to how the paint works and things like that, and you're right. Personally, I don't particularly like working with the Citadel paints just because they come in a pot. As you can see here, I have a wet palette. You'll find as you do this hobby longer, you probably want to get a wet palette. Now you can make one. It's very simple to make your own one. I just like having a dedicated one that I bought. But what it does is it keeps your acrylic paints moist and usable over time. Because acrylics have a tendency to dry very, very, very fast. So having a wet palette is very, very useful. And then putting your paints on the wet palette, it's much easier if it's in a dropper bottle. I enjoy looking at my own progress, but if I compared myself to display painters, I would go insane. That's the thing, like, I look at display painting as, like, you know, leagues beyond my ability. However, I can still kind of look at them and get inspiration from them. So get inspired by other people's work, but never compare your own with others. Well, that's kind of an important thing. Otherwise, you can really kind of demotivate yourself. Doing silly things like very easy to fall into that trap. I'd never compare myself to Sam Lenz or Sam Bismuth. Yeah. Ain't that? I'm alright. That's the thing. That's the danger of the time that we live in now, where you can see the very, very best everywhere, and it looks like the vast majority of people are absolutely fantastic because social media, you see all of the best. You see the top 1% of painters and things come through. However, that's not where everyone else is at. And so going out in the real world and just kind of seeing actual people's painting and things, you can actually go, okay, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Yeah, just enjoy it. My best advice. Have fun with it. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
Carolina Linexandria, welcome to the Horde. You're just in time for the brain buffet. Ha! But seriously, thanks for following. It means I won't have to hunt you down. Ha!
There you go. You are now safe from ZombieBot. We've got some of that red is just underlying this orange brown, and it's really just kind of making this really warm beginnings of a gold. People like it. And Helger, this just leaves me at how does his brush do that? No, he's God tier, right? that's the thing. Him and what is it? Calvo? Oh, I forgot his name now. God damn it. Sergio Calvo? God tier stuff. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. I love looking at this stuff and getting inspired by it again. I try not to compare myself with it. I just get inspired by it. Where I go, oh, that's interesting how he did that. Let me try to replicate it in my own way, to some degree. Learn from his color compositions and why those colors work with one another. Helps me to understand what kind of colors I should be using to create an effect. Sometimes very surprising what certain colors can do to one another, just layered on top of each other. The effect that it creates and the tricks that it plays on your eyes. That's possible. Okay, how? It's I think it just comes from doing it a lot. With anything in life, you've got to really put yourself into it if you want to be that kind of level. Put in the time and the kind of the real effort to want to learn something, not just keep painting, but paint with the aim of always improving as well. Looking at new techniques and trying them and learning and focusing down techniques to figure them out. And I need to get back into doing. Oh, Black Dog Painting, thank you for the lurk, appreciate that. Nice to see you. Are you getting ready for your stream? I'm dropping in to show my support. Thank you so much, I appreciate that, thank you. This is another thing, the mini painting community on Twitch is very wholesome and lovely. Okay, I'm sure I've missed something, but we'll carry on, we'll be okay, I think. Looks like we're good. Alright, we're going to move this up to the yellow. Got a real eye for recreating box arts. Yeah, very, very talented painter. And very chill. Worth checking out her streams. If she's on when I finish, we may raid into her stream. We shall see. We shall. Gold pop with a real shine of yellow. Maybe a stupid question, but do you paint also bottom of the miniature, meaning you'd have to turn around mini with head pointing down to see those areas? Some parts of it. Yeah. So, I've noticed some bits I've missed. Uh-oh. Best actually go back and do that properly. Yikes. You don't have to do it so much. It depends on kind of like the level of painting that you want to really do. How much time you want to spend on the mini. Got him. Touching that, the light can touch for sure. You can call it shadow as needed. Yeah, so as long as you've base coated it in black, then generally you don't have to do too much, because then it's all in shadow, as it were. Yeah. I obviously didn't quite get everything. Don't focus on the underside so much, but that's going to always be darker anyway, because you kind of imagine a light from above coming down. So you still paint it, but you won't paint it as much because there is lots more shadow. So you're not, and I tend to paint from dark to light. So from the dark parts, I will try to focus on everything. But as we get lighter and lighter, then we move more to anything that the light is actually hitting directly. So like right now, I'm doing the lighter touches on each of these bits of gold. Try and make it look like gold. If I covered it all in the yellow, then we would lose all of those layers that are deeper underneath. Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome. Happy to talk paint and talk theory and everything, and how we approach painting the models. So right now what we're doing is we're doing what's called NMM, which is non-metallic metals. We make it look like it's gold without painting actual gold paint. That's the idea. Remember you used to use gloves? No, I do have gloves. It just depends on the model I'm painting and how much I'm going to be touching the model itself, or what kind of paints I'm using and things like that. Right now, this one fits very nicely on the thing. I don't have to touch him. And I'm only using acrylics, so it's no problem putting this on my skin or anything like that. If I was using oils, I'll be a bit more careful and use the gloves. If I was doing some airbrushing, I might have had the gloves on earlier if I was airbrushing, and I just keep them on. It really depends on what I'm painting, if I have the gloves or not. If I'm doing like a really nice display piece, I'll wear the gloves because I'll probably be touching the model quite a lot. And I don't want fingerprints and things on the model. So it's much easier to clean up if I make a mistake and touch the wrong bit. Touch anywhere where it's wet. It just depends on whether or not I got the gloves out. I'm not someone who always sticks to one way of things. I tend to just do what I feel when I feel like it. Sometimes. Some routine here and there, and some not so routine. Alright, we're gonna go with pure yellow now. I like using my skin for acrylic, getting the right volume on my brush. At the moment, the yellow's going to look like it's too much. That's okay. When we knock it down with the paler color, it will look right. The yellow is a very translucent color. We layer this on, it layers on pretty well. Makes the transitions pretty smooth. else have we got here? We've got some of the shoulder pad to do. How much here? The point that you do at least third layer of different color on same spots is you always use a little bit less area, right? Yeah, basically. It looks like you go brown, orange, and then yellow. I'm going, yeah, brown. It's actually going brown, red to an orangey yellow to a yellow, and then finally I'm going to go to close to a white, and that's kind of the range. So what we're doing is we're kind of, if you gives me, it dropped my. Oh, where are you? Oh, you're down there. Oh, damn it. Oh, can I reach you? Come here, Mr. Wheel. Ah. Oh, yeah. You're right at an angle where I can't reach you. Where did you go? No? Oh my god. There you are. So, you can use the color wheel a little bit here. Color wheels are useful. So what I'm doing is I'm going from basically a kind of like going from this kind of dark brown, moving it up to a red, where yeah, basically I'm moving up to a red orange, moving around to an orange, it keeps moving around to a yellow orange, moves around to a yellow, and then that yellow we bring up by adding white to this pale color here, and that's where we're going to be hitting the highlights of the gold. But yeah, following the color wheel around, you can kind of get the colors that you need for the gold there. And saying that, I think I've done all of the yellow. So we're going to be now bringing out this highlight skin. So it's not like pure, not going to be pure white or anything. There we go. And then I'll mix between each of those colors as well. So I'm going to take a touch of this one. I'm going to take a touch of the yellow, about equal, so 50-50. Mix that one in, and now we get this really pale yellow. I'm just going to draw it out because otherwise I'm going to have too much on my brush. I want it to be going on very controlled strokes, so that's pretty good now. And now I can just kind of control where it's going to be. Now I'm doing very small highlights. I want to keep all of that information that I've been painting on layer by layer. And now we're just hitting those points where the light is really catching the gold. Make your own ice yellow, exactly. Ice yellow is a magic color. Ice yellow is a very good color because it's close to white. There's a touch of yellow in, so it kind of helps keep color without desaturating. You can make things lighter without desaturating them, which is what white would do. You keep more saturation in the color that you're lightening thanks to the yellow. earlier for basic coating, not this super expert hyper mega stuff. This is not super expert hyper mega stuff, but it is kind of difficult at the beginning kind of thing. Like, it's something that I've been practicing a while, and so I just got better at it. When I first started doing this kind of thing, it looked terrible, but the more you do it, the better you get. That's the kind of thing. But the what's good about learning this technique is that it will affect the rest of how you approach a lot of your painting, and making sure that you're painting with contrast in mind, because contrast on miniatures is really important to help them make them kind of really pop, so you can really see all the details. Because they're so small, we have to exaggerate everything. Why we kind of exaggerate the contrast often. Beginning year, like a year or 5. All right, we're on ad break at the moment. I'm gonna switch to a break just for a second. We'll be back soon.
See, you're worried about hyper mega stuff? Just wait till you try painting a hyper mega zombie horde. Ha! And Crow 5000 Ice Yellow sounds chillingly delightful. More chilling than a zombie's touch. Ha!
Hello, Painty Paints. You're making breakfast, lurking. All right, you lurk away and enjoy your breakfast. Welcome back, everybody. If you are back, continue with this original ice yellow highlight. Okay, I think we're gonna hit parts that I need to. That. Now we go to the final highlight where we just use a highlight skin. This will kind of give that final kind of shine where it's shining at its highest zenith. It's the highest point of reflection. This is going to be very, very small points that we're going to just pick out. It changes it quite a bit just by adding this one final highlight. Messy on one. Yeah. Oh, it's looking kind of nice. I think it looks pretty good. Always where you've kind of got an actual corner, an edge, going to be more reflection, so you can kind of go across the edge highlight a little bit with more of the white. Close to white. Here we follow the cylinder. Here the shape often will dictate how you draw in your shine. Sorry to bother you, but notice you have a lot of colours on your palette. Do you keep it for the next session because of wetness of the palette? You just leave it at the table and it's usable even next day. Not always usable days later, to be honest. It's really only best in the one sitting that you have. Afterwards, what happens is evaporation, condensation, and things happen, and it gets on. It will basically get into your paint. Your paint also will separate over a course of hours, so it's not really gonna last you days. But I've still got space on the paper, and I don't want to waste the paper until I fill it up. So although there is paint on there, I can't use it all. Actually, all the paint that you can see we've been using in this session, actually. So that was what these colors here are what I used for painting the skin tone here. But yeah, I've got loads of paint from previous sessions, but you can see here it's separating, very, very shiny because it's gotten very waterlogged. So I'm not going to be able to use that. But if I put this onto a dry palette, it'll be dry in minutes. So much prefer it to be on a wet palette. No, you be. I'm happy to answer. I always like talking shop in regard to miniature painting. And if it helps anyone with their miniature painting, I'm very happy. My main job is as a teacher, so the opportunity to actually teach a little bit is very welcome. Especially with a bad pun. Yes, we love bad puns here, don't we? Thank you, Daiquiri. We haven't had one today yet. Not that that's an invitation. No exams, I'm afraid. No exams yet. I'm a preschool teacher, so there's not really exams. Alright, I think we've done the gold. Yippee! Yes, I do. So there's a cover with a little rubber seal as well. Although I don't like to completely secure it. because then it will definitely get waterlogged. So I usually like leave it with a slight opening there. That gives me more chance to, that means that the paint will stay wet, but it won't get waterlogged so fast. So if I do come back a little bit later, I'll still be able to use the paint. If I completely seal it though, paint will get really wet and I won't be able to use it anymore. It'll be too thinned or separated. Okay, next point of call, I think, is going to be the cape. We're going to be doing it a red, a bit like this. So this is the kind of the target. If you notice here on the underside, it goes purple, and then from the top it goes red, and almost a reddish orange. We're going to be painting with that in mind. I don't use contrast paints. No, do not. Contrast paints do. There is application for them, like that a lot of like really good painters do. That they do some really special stuff with it. I just haven't ever stopped to figure it out. What it's mostly used for by people is to be able to just put paint on there and it instantly creates light to dark contrast. However, the problem with that is that it doesn't act as an actual light source. It will basically do the same kind of light to dark whether you're looking at it from above or from below. It will just basically pull into recesses. Which means that for me, where I'm trying to also think about light, actually just causes me more problems than it fixes. So I would rather take the slower route of layering and controlling where my paint goes so that I can create hopefully what looks like natural light on my models. So this kind of thing where I'm going to be controlling like where I want the shadows to be, where I want the light to reflect, for example, things like that, where it's going to be darker under the chin. You can see it's going to be darker and things. If I did that in contrast paints, it would all be the same and just the recesses would be dark, but you'd have this, it would be the same down. This would be as light as the forehead, which isn't natural. So that's kind of one of the reasons I don't use master paints. But they're very, very useful if you want to just get some stuff done quickly. And I have used contrast paints to paint a Dark Angels commission. That one kind of was nice. It was a kind of a used a black contrast paint, kind of useful. Nice. Saying that, I actually just 3D printed a model today. I have an FDM printer, so it's not really great for doing models. I mostly use it to design my own tools and things for games, and I can print out the tools and use them for when I'm wargaming and things. But I did have a little experiment today at printing a model. I printed this troll for a Snotling Blood Bowl team, and it came out actually pretty good for an FDM print. I am thinking of getting a resin printer, but I have already so many models to paint that I really don't need to be printing out more models. I've got so much to do. Because I do commission work, I've always got models to paint. And my models don't get much work on them. Yeah, it can work in FDM. You just gotta fiddle around with the settings quite a bit, and but eventually you do get it out. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. They're getting better and better. But I would like to get a resin printer. Here we go.
What did the painter do when he got cold? He put on another coat. What's blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. What do you call a bust painted by a cat? A portrait.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, the triple whammy of bad painting puns. Thank you very much, Michael. It's nice to see you. Welcome. Oh my gosh, howdy. Yeah, Daiquiri was just saying to everyone that's new here, like, oh, we like to share puns here. We hadn't had any the whole stream, and you've popped in, and of course, boom, there it goes. What was I going to do? I was going to do this red, wasn't I? Crikey. Right, for this red, I'm going to be using a different red to what we used for the thing that I just did, the gold. We're going to use a wine red. We're going to be working that one up with the purple. So let me get some of the purple in as well. So we've got some amethyst. You woke up late? No worries, no worries. I started early as well, so it's all good. It's all good. Need a little bit of purple. A little bit of purple. A little bit of red. This wine red. This is kind of the equivalent of blood for the blood god, I think. In terms of what this red looks like. It's a really nice red. I like it. And then eventually we're going to be getting that one up to scarlet red. And then we're mixing a bit of orange to really give it a little pump at the end. Now, let's see if I can actually manage this one. So I'm going to get the purple. We get the red. I'm going to mix that one together. And get this very, very warm purple. I need a touch of water in there. I really want to thin this down. Use my wet paper towel. Just lightly brush that in. Hopefully that's thin enough. And I'm just going to try and highlight it where we think it's going to be hit the most with light. We can be fairly generous right now, because this is still the shadow. I'm not hitting the highlights yet. The purple is the deepest, darkest shadow. So, up there. Things is when we thin it a little bit, it makes the paint a little bit more translucent, but also a little easier to control where we're pushing it. I'm going to go through and just kind of feel out where I feel the highlights are going to be generally falling, and where I feel shadow is going to be. You're allowed to sleep in. Indeed. Are allowed to. I slept in a little today. I got up at 7 o'clock. Usually get up at 4:30. But I had a little bit of a late night last night. After a long week, I was like, maybe a little naughty, stay up a bit late. Blood for the blood god. I went for Citadel paints. That means to put in on the palette. Feels like a lot of wasted paint on brush while transferring. Yes. Yeah, I that's why I don't buy Citadel paints. That's why I don't. I mentioned the AK wine red is very similar in color to the so this is the paint I've got, wine red, and it's very close to Blood for the Blood God, which is a really nice paint. Wish it was in a dropper bottle. Yeah, I actually at one point had a bunch of Citadel paints, and I transferred all of them into dropper bottles. Insane. I recommend doing that. It's tricky bit because, like, how much of this should I actually fly? I feel it out right now. It would be a bit tricky for me to figure out. Where I've put initial layer. You think? Okay, let's just try moving up to the next layer and see how it goes. Gonna be the wine red now. Gonna go down a touch. It's a bit translucent.
Michael, Pates Minnis, you woke up late? Perhaps you were busy dodging zombies in your dreams. Ha! And Bolsey wasting paint? Just think of it as feeding the hungry zombies on your brush. Ha!
Last comment made little to no sense. Don't know the contours of this cape. Proving to be a bit tricky to me. A bit tricky for me. I'm confident it's going to look right at the end. Anyone respond about wasted paint? I talked about, you mean about the, comment about the Citadel paint? Yes. I just said about the fact that I wasn't actually using Citadel paints. I was actually using one that was very similar to Blood for the Blood God that I had in the past transferred all of my Citadel paints into dropper bottles. Still there. Horrible. Do. But yeah, it's also why I don't buy Citadel paints, because one, you get less paint in the pot, and two, you lose more of the paint in the pot than you do from a dropper bottle. Citadels did a lot of evaporation when I left them in the pot and left the pot open so I could paint from them. Yep, that's true as well. Go and buy those paints sooner than you might have necessarily needed to if it was in a dropper bottle. Reaper's MSP 2.0 paint line in refined dropper bottles. Devastating. It is, isn't it? Do you mean these Reaper minis? They are certainly very smooth and I love painting with them. They were really nice. I say thank you again to Michael Paints Minis. I haven't been able to make a video yet on them, but I really want to, because they were lots of fun painting that Skelly. We need to finish that Skelly. You'll embarrass me. You happy to know that I also ordered an FDM printer. Ooh, which one did you order? What you getting? I've been sharing the model that I printed. Well, I also printed, this one was on commission. I printed out that little tank with a little gribbly dude in it. I'm gonna print out another tank, a bigger one, but cute little tank with a little dude in it. Kind of cool. The Bamboo P1S, the AWS 2.0. Nice, nice. Heard good things about those. I'm really enjoying the Centauri Carbon for the price, performance. Oh my god. Very, very good. Gonna print with it. Is there any ideas of what you want to do with it? Nicola? Terrain! Good use. EM is very handy for that. Base toppers. That's also very useful. Good for that. Jamal's. Lovely. Yeah, it's all great stuff for FDM printers. That. I haven't actually done any terrain with mine. Except for the stuff that I've designed. Doesn't look great. I think we just keep pushing this up now. First see it going up to the highlights. Some mid-tones now. Now we start pushing. I'm not convinced with my painting. In too much purple. I have to glaze some of those transitions a bit. It's okay. Thing, fantastic. Push it up a little bit with some orange. But it's very purple still. So I think I've got a bit too strong on the purple. Knock that down somewhat. So let's take the red. I'm gonna thin that down. Get down with the purple. Gonna try and knock out some of it. A bit more glaze. Alright. Being an absolute pain for right now. I'm not actually enjoying this bit. I want it done. Purple fixes everything. It's just too much of it for me. I know I love purple, but there's too much of it. Go to anything organic. Yeah, but the purple does look nice. It's just I didn't cover enough of it. Didn't layer up enough. Still dominating too much of it. Want it to only read as shadow. Dominating so much of this cape.
Paints and Manaman embracing the purple, are we? Just remember, it's the color of royalty. And zombie bruises, ha! And remember, the only undercoat a zombie needs is soil, ha!
And it's like, this is what I managed on this one. This is what this one's looking like at the moment. Not quite there. Let's put in the final highlight anyway, just to pop that up. And this one can be very, very lightly placed. I guess it's a bit better. A bit crazy purples to oranges, but I'll stick with that for now. We'll see how the rest of the model looks as we do the rest of the model. Remember that I wanted to do the yellow there. So whilst we've got colours on the palette, just drop in a dollop of the pink. Just for mixing. And slowly build this one up to a yellow. The pink underneath will just make that yellow extra vibrant. Once that's down, we can kind of hit the fur and the bone and the leather. That'll be nice to get those bits done. That will cover quite a lot of the model then. That's dry. Stray hairs in my brush. Up from the up from the kitchen paper. I've got to keep waiting for that one to dry before I apply any more. Whilst I wait for that, and I have a drink. And a stretch. Okay, I'll have a little stretch as well. It's nice. Oh. Oh, good to stretch. Thank you for that. Yeah, it would be good to get a little fancy hairdryer for that. A little one, which isn't too powerful, would be perfect. Definitely got to go shopping, stretch and move, etc. after a rather big workout last night. Sounds like a plan. First NMM, MPM. Second, hair drying changes colours, makes them minutely change based on the time you did the drying, the heat, etc. Ooh. UK question, do you believe Mr. Bean was an alien? A little bit like Ford Prefect from Hitchhiker's Guide. Possibility. Guys, there's another bit of this done. How many times he's died in movies? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, everyone with a bean in their name is an alien. Beams down from a light in the intro. True, he does, doesn't he? Oh, that was sent from by God. Actually, the second coming of Christ. Great race movies. Apocalyptic, I think. Is that like, I don't know which one it was, but I know that a very long time ago. I never saw the movie, but like Rat Race or something like that. I don't know. Rat Race. I have to try and watch that. I've never seen it. I remember, the only reason I remember Rat Race is it was when I went to America and it was on all of the buses, on the sides of buses or the sides of billboards and everywhere. It's being advertised absolutely everywhere. I was like, what the hell is this movie? And it's got Rowan Atkinson in. Okay. Me can't beat a bit of Blackadder. He's an IQ of 178 or so. Oh, he's an incredibly clever man. Very, very clever. He's kind of famous for his kind of silly idiot type things, but like Blackadder is incredibly clever, dry, dark humor, and not the 9 o'clock news. I think he was in as well. He was very clever as well. Good. Those are the kind of shows where he's at his best. Okay, so I got those bits done. Let's now try to tackle the fur. So I've still got some brown on the palette. It's gone a bit watery, a bit separated, but I think we can get some of my heavy brown. Try mixing them. Quite thick, so I'm hoping that will balance it out a bit. Oh, we're in ad break again. I'm just gonna work through for the moment. Hear you here. If you're not, see you soon. Easy moving, but you wouldn't guess his IQ from the roles he chooses. Oh, people cast him as well. After doing Mr. Bean and it being so popular, that's kind of how he gets cast. He enjoys playing. Again, Blackadder is himself is a very smart man surrounded by a lot of idiots, but he himself is also just a selfish man. Season 1 he was an idiot, but after that he was much smarter as a character. Now he's doing Man versus Baby. Man versus bee.
5 man versus bee. What about man versus zombie? Much more thrilling, I assure you. Ha! And Michael Paintsman is interesting is just another word for not yet zombified, you know? Ha!
Oh. My daughter watched the Man versus Bee thing. I haven't seen it myself. Man versus Baby. Okay. Let's just get a little bit more of that heavy brown. I didn't put enough on the palette. And keep it fairly thick and dry. Good for the fur. I'm in to get this guy close to finished. It's a mist. And his necklace. Hello there, Shiny Mew. How you doing? Good stuff in Discord. Thank you very much. A bit later. Now, layers in. I close. Get there. Getting late. 11:40. And I want to finish at 12 though, if I can. I'm gonna set up the printer. Print a model off on commission. And I gotta make sure that the next bit of the spool feeds through properly. Around for a bit. Make sure that goes through properly. You. Okay, for the leather, that's all we need to do. Leather. I think I did. Okay, so that's all I need to do for leather. Now I need some pale sand. I'm running out of space on my wet palette, so this is actually a good place to end up finishing up. Good. Some of that. Over here. That. In. Alright, this will be good for the fur and the bone. Red, that's screwing me over right now. Yeah. Sudden contrast. Up to the pale sand highlight now. Okay. All right. At a point where I'm pretty happy with where he's progressing. Do have a little bit more to do on him, but I think we progressed pretty well for this stream. That gives us these two guys, and yeah, we're pretty close with getting this guy done. We've got some cleanup to do. I'm gonna do his beard. I'm gonna do a few little details here and there. I will run over with the red though very quickly. Thank you, Crow. There we go. All right, lovely. Okay, I'm gonna call it there for today. Oh, my neck is hurting a little bit, so it'll be good to stop, have a little rest, and let's just see here. Okay, yeah, we got 15 viewers, so let's move you on. Let's rage you forward. Oh, Origins on, Black Dog Paintings on. Okay. Today, let's send you over to Black Dog Paintings. I haven't gone to her for a while, so let's pop on over and yeah, we'll go and raid in. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's an absolute pleasure today. Hope you all have a lovely day ahead of you, or a lovely evening, or a lovely rest, like I am gonna be. And we'll see you next time. So yeah, thank you very, very much, guys. And be raiding pretty much now, I think. So yeah, thanks very much. Make sure to say hello to Black Dog Painting for me, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.
Shiny Moo Paints, Coho 5000, Bolsey, JV93, Carolina, Linexandria, leaving so soon? Just remember, zombies never say goodbye. We just say brains. Ha! See you next time, if the undead don't catch you first. Ha!